How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I have a list of cryptocurrencies that I am buying for the next bull run that I think are going to do explosively well, extremely well. And they're not right for everyone. Like some of these are higher risk, some of them are lower risk. But keep in mind that are the cryptos that I'm putting my chips in, the cryptos that I have accumulated, the cryptos that I've bought recently. And to be clear, like the title, not all of them are going to 4x in the next couple months. Not all of them are going to 5x, 6x. But I think during the bull market, they're going to do extremely well. And moving up to the Bitcoin halving, we're already seeing explosive behavior from cryptocurrencies. And I don't think you want to miss out by waiting for something to fall just a little bit. There's going to be volatility. I think you want some money on the sidelines, but make sure that you are positioned well for the next bull run. Now, I will say some of this video, my voice seems a little bit laggy. I think it's because the gains are so crazy that the camera can't keep up with it. So I refilmed the beginning of the video. So hit subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the bell notification underneath the video. There's also a link down there to Margex in case you want to trade cryptocurrency. You can trade over on Margex. You don't have any KYC there. So you can sign up and start depositing within a few minutes. You don't need a VPN to start trading. You can use a ton of different assets as collateral. And it's powered by TradingView, so you can chart right here and trade right here. All deal indicators are easy to see on screen. And there's a 20% deposit bonus as well that can be used towards fees. Now, first on this list, I think we should talk about macro. What's happening macro? And basically, we have all-time highs for stocks. A lot of people think we're going to hit that soft landing that we've been waiting for. Yeah, there was a little bit of a scare with CPI data, but CPI is still coming down. It's still in that 3% range. PPI and PCE have been pretty strong as well. The rate cut probably is going to be pushed back from March to May or June, but we're still on the same trajectory. We still have a massive amount of debt. We still need to lower rates. We still need to worry about banking collapses and unemployment. So how do you do that? You start lowering rates. Not to the point where we start to see inflation run away, but you start lowering rates and that causes more capital to flow into high-risk assets such as cryptocurrency. We've been seeing a lot of cryptocurrency-related stocks recently start flying because the price of crypto is going up. A lot of people are thinking that since the halving's coming up in about 2 months, the price of crypto is going to go up exponentially along with the macro, along with the normal timing of the asset class going up around this time of year, which is why we've seen so much green, or not even this time of year, sorry, this time of the cycle. So number one on this list is Bitcoin. And when you look at the daily here, we've had bullish momentum indicators after bullish momentum indicators, just so much bullishness. And this is our indicator, HG Algo, which shows you when bullish momentum is happening or bearish momentum. This is more for trading. Like, hey, if you had seen bearish momentum here and sold when we first saw that, we didn't see any bullish momentum on the daily for a very, very long time. So you could have seen, oh, okay, bullish, and then buy back here, and then boom, explosive moves. There's a link to this underneath the video. You just sign up, and you can get it right in your TradingView account, and it just shows up on the chart. You can turn it off if you want, but you can put it on different time frames, different assets. It's super useful. Bitcoin, though, has to be my number one, and it is my number one. To be clear, though, I'm not going to be going through these assets in terms of my own portfolio value. I might say here or there, like, okay, Bitcoin is my largest holding, but I don't really want to talk about some of the smaller cryptos, how much of them I hold. Just to be clear, every single crypto on this list is one that I have today. It's one that I hold, and I'm not trying to pump my own bags up. That's why I'm not saying, oh, I have $10,000 or $100,000, $1 million of this small cryptocurrency. I'm not doing that. After Bitcoin and some of the large caps, I'm not really talking about how big it is in my portfolio, but Bitcoin is my biggest. It's over 2/3 of my portfolio. I keep on adding to it, keep getting paid in Bitcoin. We continue to see ETFs swallow up Bitcoin. You can see ETF aggregate flows since the Bitcoin ETF was approved, continuously moving up, especially recently, exponentially up. And money's come out of gold. That's kind of interesting. It seems like some people are selling gold and maybe putting into Bitcoin, or it could just be a coincidence. People are selling gold and then other people are also buying Bitcoin. But it is interesting to see, and they're buying at a huge rate to the point that there's not much Bitcoin left. I know that we talk about that a lot, but there's not much Bitcoin left when they buy 2 billion in 4 days. And then it looks like we're on pace to have another record day today. There's just not much to go around. And it seems like the OTC desks are dry. Like at first, when we saw a large amount of Bitcoin being bought up, we didn't see the price go up, but now we are. Day after day, we're seeing the price spike up. And yes, Genesis got approved to sell about 1.3 billion shares or $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin from GBTC. But some of this will be converted into Bitcoin or cash gradually with the assistance of a broker. So it won't have that much selling pressure. And keep in mind, this is less than 1% of Bitcoin's market cap. This is like 0.1% of Bitcoin's market cap. It's barely anything. Even if they were to sell this over like a week, the market would more than absorb it at this point. And we are bound to see this continue in the future, in my opinion. We just continue to see more and more Bitcoin being bought up. And a lot of people don't even have the ability to buy these ETFs yet, but yet IBIT is on pace to have a record. And this is the hardest asset out there. I thought about making a video. Maybe I will make a video talking about the price of Bitcoin moving up to the halving or through the end of the year. This is coming from Invest Answers, and he talks about how basically if we just have 1/4 of the volume or of the net buys that we've been having so far, we could see a $174,000 Bitcoin price target in 1 year. And it's just math. It's how it's bought up. You take the 125 million, multiply that by 59, because that is typically what we see in terms of a multiplier. If there's so much Bitcoin bought, then the market cap goes up by much more than whatever's bought. That's how the numbers work out. And we could have a net result of $123,000 worth of Bitcoin price added on top of the price we have right now. And if it's 250 million bought each day, we could have a $300,000 price. Now, maybe this slows down, right? Maybe the retail market doesn't continue to buy, or the institutional investors don't continue to buy at the same pace. But that's why we're using smaller numbers than this 500 million. So we could see exponential price increases. That's how it works out. Some investors are talking about how we could hit $600,000 Bitcoin by 2026. And I don't want to get that aggressive, right? I am not here because I think Bitcoin's going to go up 10x in the next year or so, right? If it does, great. I have a large bag of Bitcoin. I am happy with that. But if it goes up 3x, 4x, I'm still going to be very happy. Remember, I've been buying throughout the entire bear market, and a lot of you have too. So having Bitcoin in your portfolio, I think, is a must moving into the next Bitcoin bull market. The ETFs have literally bought up 1% of the overall Bitcoin in less than, or right around 30 days. There's also a case to be made that maybe Bitcoin never sees bear market like it did before, because there is so much demand. There are so many people buying, and there are countries possibly getting ready to buy as well. That there are already countries that are buying, but we might not ever see the same kind of bear market, that same 80% drawdown. I know a lot of people give me some flack for that in the comments, but that might not be something that's as realistic moving forward, with institutions coming into the game, with people buying in their retirement portfolios. Just like you don't see the Vanguard index funds or just S&P 500, you don't see that fall down 80%. You see maybe 50% drawdowns, 40% drawdowns, 30%. I think Bitcoin would still draw down more than that, but maybe not 80%, because that's a big drawdown. That's like going down 60%, then being cut in half again. So keep that in mind. Now from there, I do think, one last thing. I think there is an interesting possibility that maybe Bitcoin surprises people with how much it goes up versus the rest of the market. I think a lot of the time people just think money flows into Bitcoin, then money flows out of Bitcoin into other cryptos, which could definitely happen. It will happen. But there are a lot of institutional investors that are buying Bitcoin, and they're not going to be rolling into Solana or down the list into small gaming cryptos. Now, the people that have native Bitcoin will do that, but there's also just going to be so much buying pressure on Bitcoin that with the scarcity, I think it will surprise people how much this can go up, even compared to some of the other altcoins. I think it could do extremely well, and we've seen that already. We've seen Bitcoin leading the way, but maybe there's some kind of scarcity effect that causes Bitcoin to go up much faster than people even think compared to altcoins. So the majority of my bag is Bitcoin. Now let's go on to number 2, which is Ethereum. And again, this isn't going to be all in order. It's not like I'm going to say Ethereum and then my next largest holding is number 3, because I want to be careful. I don't want to, again, tell exactly how much I have. But Dankun upgrade is coming soon. Ethereum's Dankun upgrade rolls out with a new type of transaction. It's basically going to lower the fees, make it faster, make it have higher throughput and all that stuff. They're expecting this to be done, I believe it's March 13. That's the estimated date. So this is going to improve Ethereum. I know so many people don't like Ethereum right now, or just think it's boring, it's dead. But it's still an asset that people want to hold on to. We still have OG Ethereum people that won't let it die. That's for sure. We also have the ETH ETF that will be coming probably in a month or two. I forgot when the deadline is, but a couple months. And at the same time, there's less and less Ethereum out there. And this is when Ethereum's not being used all that much. Sure, it's picked up a little bit since the bear market, but not very much. It's still deflationary, though, at negative 0.21% a year. And this is bound to tick up if the ETH ETF gets approved, the Dankun upgrade goes through, and there's this burn factor. I think that a lot of people will look back at Ethereum, maybe take some profits from Bitcoin, and then move it into Ethereum as the next safest play. And this could cause the price of Ethereum to go up pretty quickly. And a lot of people are saying, oh, Ethereum maybe can only hit 5,000. That's just barely above where it was last bull market. I would not be surprised to get a high 4-figure, maybe even 5-figure Ethereum this cycle. Another one on the list is Solana. Honestly, I wish I had gotten more Solana. I still have a decent sized bag, but it's smaller than I'd like. Solana, though, just processes so many transactions. It's so used in crypto, and it's so easy to use. It's so much faster, even than layer 2s on Ethereum, from what I've seen. It's awesome to work with. It's easy to send transactions. And if we are really going into this narrative that there's going to be some big breakout that brings crypto mainstream, whether it's crypto gaming or something like that, Solana is probably going to be in it. Solana is probably going to be used, and there's just a lot of demand for Solana right now. A lot of people like Solana. The price has been really strong, and it's gone up explosively. Another one that you have to look at is Chainlink. This is another one where I just didn't get as much as I'd like. I have a lot more Solana than I do have Chainlink, but Chainlink just never has had quite the price action I've looked for. It has awesome utility, though, being an oracle, the number one oracle in the space by far, and providing real utility in the world. Chainlink also has been accumulated by whales. A single whale amassed $112 million worth of Chainlink very quickly, and the price of Chainlink has been going up. Right now, the price of Chainlink is right around $20. Would not be surprised to see it go up pretty drastically in the next bull run. And again, keep in mind, we're moving further and further down the list into smaller and smaller crypto. So if you're just sitting there snoozing or nodding off, stay paying attention. Polygon, one that I don't hold much of an allocation in, but I did have it the last bear market or the last bull market. I sold going into the bear market into Bitcoin, which was a good thing because Matic fell pretty drastically. It's been a little bit sideways recently, right around 80, 90 cents. Not much price action, but with the Dankun upgrade, this will help even layer 2s, which could be beneficial to Matic. FTM, also another one that I have barely any allocation in, but I still have it from the last bull run. I sold 80, 90% of it as well, just like Matic into Bitcoin. And I think these are both kind of relics of the past cycle. I really liked Phantom, and I liked their strong balance sheet. I liked what they were doing, how quickly they processed transactions and all that. But honestly, I've never really used Phantom, which sounds crazy, but I haven't really used it much. I still do. Maybe I have used it a handful of times, but it's not as easily available to use as something like Solana or Matic. I still have a little bit of dust on this one, though. Like maybe a fraction of a percent or something like that. We also are getting into smaller cryptocurrencies, but I do have a bag of Inspect, so I was an investor in this. They are basically a layer 2 for Twitter. You can do a lot of different stuff with them. They recently became a partner with Injective, so pretty big partnership there, obviously. They say Inspect Analytics will provide a distinctive infrastructure layer, enhancing the accessibility and efficiency of Injective for all crypto users. Pretty big partnership there. I've seen Alex Becker talk about them before. I didn't even know that he was part of the project or that he owned any, but he's talked about it a handful of times as well. It's gone up like 15x or something from the pre-sale price. So really good gainer there. A decent sized market cap, I believe, too. Now we're getting into more degen land. Syncus DAO, they have a big update. I believe it's next week. Let me pull something up real quick. But they're rolling out a platform for borrowing and lending, and the fees generated by this platform are going to be shared to sync holders. They've done a good job of that in general, rewarding people in their community. If you didn't know, I'll leave a link to this underneath the video. You can stake your tokens. They pay a really high APY, so they are a little bit inflationary there, but they pay a high APY right now, and I believe you get a 15% rebate as well if you use my link and use my code underneath the video. But they're launching their DeFi/banking/borrowing and lending platform next week. So be on the lookout for this. It did have a big price move, 40% in the last 24 hours. They've been doing some aggressive marketing. They're not asking me to say this in today's video, but I do hold their token. So just I'm pretty happy today. Up 40% a day is pretty good for a day's work. I've also been buying some launch pads like Seedify and Tenset. There's another one I'm looking at buying. I'll update you on that when the time comes. But Seedify is one that I only started buying because I started working with the company. I thought I really need an allocation for this during the next bull run. And I started buying up the crypto. It went all the way up to $4.50. Now it's back down at $3.50. I think there's a huge narrative for launchpads. Basically, people going to Bitcoin, people going to altcoins, people start moving further and further down the list looking for higher returns, and people get greedier and greedier. And eventually they want in on a lot of big token launches. There have been a handful. They've already gone up over 100x this year, and people will see that and want to get in on launches. Now, how do you do that? You go to launchpads. You buy the token, the underlying token, and then you can start buying the tokens that are launched through their programs that give them more attention. Now, Seedify launches a lot of big games. Gaming is probably going to go nuts this next bull run. So I bought a significant amount of Seedify tokens. I've also bought a significant amount of Tenset tokens. I talked about this recently. I bought $10,000 worth, actually a little bit more than that, of Tenset tokens. It's up 20% today. It's up like 50% since I bought. And I have a video coming out later today on staking these and why I'm staking them, because I want in on their new launches. And Tenset in general has been burning a lot of tokens. It's getting harder to be a staker there and get access to their launchpad, so it's becoming a little bit more exclusive. The price is moving up. It's still not too late in my opinion, but you don't want to wait too long because it is becoming more expensive to be able to do this. Now, Tenset does have a crypto that they're launching here pretty soon called Alvara, and so far Tenset's gains have been absolutely nuts on anything that's on their gem program. Alvara seems like it may have really good interest as well. They're launching in just under a month. I think it's closer to probably 3 weeks, and they basically allow you to tokenize different cryptocurrencies, and then you can create a token that holds those other cryptocurrencies, basically. And then you can trade that token. So it is pretty interesting. They still are, well, there's someone that I saw recently, Digital Asset News, that's trying to get a demo, trying to be able to try out this platform as it is pretty new and they haven't really launched it to the public yet. They are also planning to do a big airdrop as well, which could be a nice way to make some extra money as well, just by going and doing some different things on socials. So I'd be paying attention to this one. I think that it is really interesting, especially with the ETF narrative right now. A lot of people are trying to get access to more tokenized basket funds. And make sure you do your own research. I might be off a little bit with the mechanics of how it works, but that's basically what they're doing. They're creating baskets of cryptocurrencies. Another one that's very controversial, I could not believe how controversial this was Satoshi VM. A lot of people got pissed off because influencers took profits on this. It went up like 150x and some influencers were investing in it. And it's still up like 40x from the launch price, I believe. So I am still holding a lot of this. This is one that I will hold for a while, I think. And it is an interesting cryptocurrency. It's a BRC-20 token. Again, just a lot of controversy about how they launched on Ape Terminal. We'll see, though, if they can continue to actually deliver on what they say that they're going to do. Bitcoin ZK Rollup Layer 2 that's compatible with an EVM ecosystem and uses native BTC as gas. Now, something that I bought, a couple of things I bought just today. These are like higher risk, higher reward cryptos, in my opinion. Virtue Poker. They are a smaller cryptocurrency. I think fully diluted 31, but I think there isn't a ton that's being traded right now. Definitely a small poker cryptocurrency. And then Polker as well, which is, I think, even smaller, $4.5 million. Fully diluted, $8 million. So two poker like gaming cryptos. Blockchain Bets as well is an interesting one, $25 million market cap, a gambling cryptocurrency. Operation Phoenix, and I'm going a little bit quicker through these because some of these are smaller holdings for me or just riskier in general. Operation Phoenix, a newer cryptocurrency. 1 week into Operation Phoenix launch, it's like a new, better SafeMoon that actually is delivering what SafeMoon couldn't. So that's what their narrative basically is that they saw what SafeMoon did. They like the community. They are part of the community, and then they just didn't get delivered what SafeMoon said that they were going to deliver. So they created Operation Phoenix, and so far they have 1,200 holders. They have 8.1 million at a market cap at the all-time high, 43% of total stake tokens listed on CMC and CoinGecko. It was just, the price was just updated on Trust Wallet as well. They have 3,000 plus members and followers. This is all within 1 week of the launch, so pretty successful there. It's about a $5 million market cap right now, so I think that could be pretty explosive. Again, like a lottery ticket, big potential, but also riskier. Another one that's launching here soon is Aether trading card games. They are a transmedia development studio that creates immersive gaming and entertainment experiences for Web 2 and Web 3. I plan on talking about them a little bit more. I haven't talked about them too much, though, because they haven't launched yet. But they do have a lot of people that are interested in them, some big backers. Speaking of another cryptocurrency that's kind of in the same boat, Ivendpay, they're going to go live with their TGE, I think, in 6 days. And they're backed by Binance Pay. They make crypto payments easily accessible. People can use their systems and get paid in crypto and that kind of thing. They have a bunch of locations. So I think this is an interesting one, and it actually has real world utility like some of the other ones I've talked about here today. It's not just some token that's spun up to try to grab some cash. No, it's a real life cryptocurrency, a real life company that is providing utility. So that's a list. Now, there are some other cryptocurrencies that I am going to invest in, or I have invested in, but they're too early to talk about. So I don't want to talk about those ones yet, but that's the majority of my portfolio. Like 90% plus is what I just went through, maybe even more than 90% of it. And it's all weighted down by Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is the Mac Daddy. Keep in mind, we're going to have volatility. I'm fully okay with volatility because I know that just is opportunity to buy in because I'm bullish long term. So if Bitcoin falls to $40,000 again, I'm going to be buying. If Bitcoin moves up to $60,000, I'll probably still be accumulating, buying. There is a point though that I'll take profits, and I will talk about that in videos. Maybe I'll make a video at the time that I am starting to sell, and people are going to hate me, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. When you buy cheap, you want to sell high, and there is going to be some time where I start taking profits. That doesn't mean I'm bearish on the market. That means I'm moving it into a different asset because of diversification. I think that's pretty key. We also know that there is going to be some regulatory oversight. I saw recently Kraken is cracking down, pardon the pun, but they're cracking down on even self-custody wallets. Like if you send crypto in to Kraken from a self-custody wallet or receive it out of Kraken, they're asking if you own the address because they're trying to register with the UK government those wallets. That's nuts. If you haven't done your taxes, or if you think that you can get away without doing your taxes for crypto, I would suggest not doing that. I would make sure that you get your crypto taxes done. I started a company recently, or I joined a company recently that helps you manually go through your wallets. You don't have to do it. We manually go through your wallets that you send us and look at every single transaction, look at fees. A lot of people don't look at their gas fees, and it can contribute a lot of fees throughout the year and can end up causing you thousands and thousands of dollars in fees. Some people spend tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars on fees throughout the year. And some people don't realize that, and then they pay taxes and they really pay more than they need to. So there's a link to BCM underneath the video where you can get help on your taxes. There's also a link to the algo, HGAlgo, which is the indicator that goes into TradingView and helps you, based on what time frame you're looking at, make smart decisions. There's also a link down there to Margex as well. If you want to know what I'm buying and selling, what I'm trading, you can check out the link to my Patreon. And if you want to start trading yourself, you can check out the link to Margex. Appreciate you guys all watching. I realize this is a bit of a longer video, and I'm talking about a lot of different cryptos, but this is not supposed to be like an all-inclusive, you can just go buy all these cryptos and then you'll make a lot of money. No, you have to understand them. You have to have conviction in them yourselves, because I'm not going to make a video every single time I sell any single cryptocurrency, right? There are going to be times where something goes wrong with a crypto or something goes right, and I either buy or I sell and I reposition. You need to have that conviction yourself, though, to understand what you should be doing based on your own risk tolerance, based on your own knowledge. So make sure that you don't just blindly buy anything that I talk about here today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.